Greetings, and welcome to another video. And today we have the second part of my video explaining to you guys how I train my kicks. But first off, I would like to let you guys know this. My fight has been confirmed, for the 29th. It hasn't been decided who I'm going to be fighting yet, but it's almost guaranteed that my fight is going to happen on April 29th. And I'm going to start giving you guys regular updates on my training through videos, and there's going to be a lot of them. But for now, I'm just going to be showing you guys, and my ankle brace is off. Can't do much though. Not even able to go to class yet, but until my physical therapy's over, still training on my own. So this second one is once again based on the requests of someone in the comments. Unfortunately, due to technical errors, I won't be able to actually show the comments in the video, but if you go back to the first video on my kick training, it's there, and he'll probably be in the comments of this video. But this video is specifically talking about one that came up when we were talking in the comments of the last one, and that is hip dexterity. Now, people always talk about various things when it comes to kicking, but one thing that people don't talk about is what happens when is what makes you unable to get those kicks out. And generally, what that comes down to is weak hips. Now, many people have weak hips. It's not their fault. Most people don't even know that you're supposed to train your hips specifically. Most people are actually doing things that are bad for their hips, like sit-ups. Sit-ups are garbage, and I will probably make a video on them eventually. If not, just wait till my book comes out. So people actually have really weak hips. And as a result, when it comes time to actually start learning how to kick, they're already at a disadvantage. And since the only real thing close to training for their kicks hips that they do is their kicks, they're not going to get any better. And since a lot of people use sit-ups as their go-to ab exercise, it's actually gonna get worse, since once you start taking your training seriously, you're gonna start training more in every single way, especially for your ab training, because that's arguably one of the most important muscles to train, since that's where a lot of times you're getting hit. So and what do weak hips mean? It means that eventually, if after you throw enough kicks to where you get partially exhausted in those muscles, you'll struggle to even get your leg up, let alone go through the full range of motion of the kick. And if you have weak hips, have really weak hips, from the start of the motion, you probably might not even be able to get your leg up for the entire motion. And now, I know a lot of people say you shouldn't kick above the waist, but let me tell you this. There is no difference in kicking below the waist and torso level. Kicking high, like to the head or shoulders, that puts you at the risk of getting knocked over. But whether you kick at the leg, whether you kick at the legs, or the torso, like around this level, you're getting the same amount of risk. Generally, it's getting punched in the face. Or, for the leg kicks at least. For the torso level, it's getting them caught. Especially if you're dealing with those Sanda fighters or Muay Thai fighters. They love to catch kicks. So, what was I saying? So, some people actually can't kick, that high, even just to waist height, because they have weak hips. So, with that being said, how do you get strong hips? Well, for starters, I actually just realized that my kettlebell's not here. So I guess I won't be showing that exercise, but that was in the last video, so for starters, the first exercise I'm going to show you is leg raises, specifically lateral leg raises. Now, generally, people will do these lying on their side, but I do it standing up because, well, let's be real. Almost 90% of the time that we're throwing kicks, we're on our feet. So I see no point in training this with it if we're on our back or on our side. So, what you're going to do is, now you can hold on to something for this. I'm going to because I'm, to make sure my ankle stays safe. But but not doing it is a good way of working your balance. So what you're going to do is raise your leg up, and then what you're going to do is you want to keep it at a point, at a low point, not on the ground though. And you're going to raise it up again, and then you're going to keep doing that. Keep doing it for your set number of repetitions. Some people, you could do it for time also, but generally I say repetitions are better. Just because, well, I just like the repetitions. Time always just annoys me. Plus, speed training. And as always, make sure to work both sides. Now on top of that, you have to work them in multiple planes of motion. That includes the front, and to some extent, the back. Not as much though, considering that your hips don't use as much for that, that are in a different way than the front kicks. But this is because, well, you're activating the hips in different ways, when you pull up different kicks. Now, I don't throw that many front kicks just because I generally fight from a sideways stance. Sometimes I'll go front stance with a long guard, or even go kind of Kyokushin with it, with my hand, with my head low and my hands like this. Actually, that's more boxing than Kyokushin, but I generally just do that when I'm going strictly to the body. Or if I'm trying to get the Dempsey roll, or Gazelle punch. Screw it. But I have a lot of things. Heck, sometimes I'll even go traditional karate and use the Sanshin stance to bait them in, so that I can get that counter. Or just to throw a front kick. But you need to train each range of motion. Because if you don't, that's not just a muscular weakness, but that's one technique that you're going to be worse at. And not because you're worse at the technique, but because you have a single part method of using your muscles that's lacking. Now, second exercise is very similar to the first. Again, what you're going to do is bring your leg up, into the starting position of the kick, and then hold it. For this one, you're going to want to do time. I say you want to build your way up to 2 minutes in each position. Start with the position of you lifting it, into the base, then the extension for the same amount of time, and then the pulling back, and then you want to hold it again, extend, hold back, and then lower it. You want to be able to, have it, have your hip, strong in each, in each range of motion of the kick. And this kind of isometric is perfect. And it works with all kicks, not just the side kick. That was just the easiest to show, but also the roundhouse. Of course, that doesn't work with the Thai-style roundhouses because they're just technically, impossible to do this with. And as always, both sides. Now, on top of that, you can always do certain exercises that are specifically good for building your hip dexterity, like lunges. I'm not good at lunges, but there's one specific one that I want to show you. Okay, so these are push-up bars, but we're not using them for push-ups. Now, first, make sure the screws are tightened. These things have collapsed on me one too many times. So, what we're going to do is lay flat like this. We'll sit. Push-up bars to the side. And we're going to be doing L-sits. Now, this is a good exercise. Okay, I can't have my stomach muscles properly tightened, while talking. But this is a good exercise for the abs, but primarily, it's for the hips. Well, when you're a beginner, it's mostly a hip exercise. When you get to my level of advanced, as long as we're not talking while doing it, it actually ends up targeting the abs more than anything. Come to think of it, I probably should have included this on my ab training video. But regardless. So, L-sits. Great for training the hips, and good for training your hip dexterity overall. And of course, you could do this in various ways. I just find the push-up bars to be the best. You don't even need the push-up bars. You just do it on your hands. Of course, if I do it without the push-up bars, I have to do it on my fingertips because I have weirdly short arms. So it ends up being kind of like this. Yeah, even on my fingertips, it becomes weird. But so L-sits, good for hip dexterity. And for the next thing, something that you guys saw in the last one, and honestly, what I say is the secret to my hip dexterity: ankle weights. Now, I showed these in the last video, and you guys should honestly know, have seen it there. Honestly, that was kind of an overview of the general stuff I do. I'm probably going to cover a lot of the basis, going into the video talking about specific things here soon. But these are more for speed. We're looking for something based more on strength and power. Which is why you got these. Twice as heavy. But and as a result, they're better for this. Any of the longtime viewers of my channel will recognize that I actually did a video where I had children try these on me once. Alright, so just need to put one of these on. Okay, and while I put these on, brief explanation. This is actually similar to a traditional karate training implement known as the iron geta, which were basically just iron sandals. They were weighted, and they use them in pretty much the same way that I'm about to demonstrate. And that is not why I started using these. I just watched way too much Naruto. So, first exercise, what you're going to want to do is just lift your leg up like you're going to do a front kick, hold it for a second, and then slowly put it down, like this. Basically treat it like any standard weightlifting thing. Do it for repetitions or time. I generally like to do it with 3 sets of 20. Why that? Because I just like sets of 3 to 3, sets of 5. Those general things. Or I'll do 2 sets if I have the rep scheme is 50. But generally I just stick with 3 sets of exercises. 3 sets of 20, each leg. And then switch to the next one. You want to be strong in every range of motion, like I already mentioned. And another trick. There's this exercise that actually having trouble remembering the name, but it's kind of like a hamstring curl, but with your body weight. Yeah, it'll come to me later. But it's actually pretty difficult to do, especially since I can't really seem to find it. Find anything that can actually support my weight while I do them. But you can do something similar with these. Just let me adjust the camera. Okay, what you do is think of it like a bicep curl, but with your legs. And what does this do? Well, nothing for the hips. I just wanted to mention it real quick because it's good at improving the speed of your kicks, specifically the speed of bringing the kick back. It works this muscle right here. I think it's the hamstring. It's funny. I've written almost 2 books on exercise science. I should probably be able to recall the names of various muscles off the top of my head. But yeah, 1 second. Now, with that being said, there's one final thing that I have to say for building your hip dexterity for kicking, and that is to throw more kicks. Are you guys really surprised? The secret to getting good at something is to keep doing that thing. Yeah. And honestly, you could do all these exercises hundreds of times each day. But unless you actually practice your kicks, your hip dexterity will get better, but not for kicking. You need to be able to practice your kicks. Properly, or else you won't get better at them. And unless you throw a lot of kicks, you're not going to get good at throwing a lot of kicks. You need to practice and if you have a problem with getting your kicks high, you need to try throwing your kicks high. Otherwise, your hip dexterity doesn't matter. So that's the secret. So these are just my general exercises for hip dexterity. And I have another video that should be going up tonight as well on my stretching for my kicks. So be sure to check out, keep an eye out for that, and be sure to keep an eye out for all my training videos that are going to come up in preparation for my fight. So that being said, thank you all very much for watching. This is Random Man signing off.